Emily Schrader here at the Jerusalem Conference here in New York City, and with us we have Representative Mike Lawler, also sits on the House Foreign Affairs Committee and has done a lot of work for the Jewish community. I wanted to ask you first and foremost about the Celebrate Israel parade here in Israel today. How was it to see tens of thousands of people on the streets finally in support of a U.S. ally, the State of Israel?
For sure, it was a wonderful day, beautiful weather, but a great opportunity to celebrate 77 years of Israel's independence and the special relationship between the United States and Israel. And certainly, given what has happened over the past 19 months, a great opportunity to support the Jewish people, push back against the vile anti-Semitism and Jew hatred that we have seen permeate our college campuses, our universities, and frankly around the globe. And so just a great day to be there in solidarity with the Jewish people.
Now, you've done a lot of work to combat that hate speech on campus that we've seen so much of in the past 19 months. As a member of Congress, what is your message to these protesters?
Well, they're an abomination to our country. When Hamas and Iran are supporting your protests and praising your protests, there's something fundamentally wrong. And so obviously from the standpoint of what Congress can do, I have been fighting to pass the Anti-Semitism Awareness Act and hold these universities and colleges accountable to enforce Title VI of the 1964 Civil Rights Act. But also, frankly, I've supported what President Trump is trying to do when it comes to revoking these federal dollars for these institutions that fail to enforce the law, that fail to crack down on the vile anti-Semitism. So there's a lot that we can do and should do from a federal perspective to hold these folks accountable and stop what has been a destructive force across our country in these anti-Semitic protests.
Now, we see now President Trump engaging in negotiations led by U.S. Envoy Steve Witkoff with the Islamic Republic of Iran. Congress has been very firm about what the standards are, as has President Trump, zero enrichment. And yet, during these negotiations just yesterday, we saw Ayatollah Khamenei chanting death to Israel, death to America in one of his speeches. What is your message to these mullahs in Iran?
Well, one way or the other, they are not going to be allowed to have a nuclear weapon. They're not going to be allowed to enrich uranium for civilian purposes as part of any agreement. And my view is that, obviously, trust but verify. And so from the standpoint of Iran, they are not trustworthy. They are not a nation that certainly has America's interest or Israel's interest at heart. And so we have to be cognizant of that as part of any negotiation. And we need to be prepared to act. From my vantage point, this is not Israel's fight alone. The United States has to stand shoulder to shoulder and ensure that Iran does not get a nuclear weapon, one way or the other.
Now, lastly, I want to ask you about the Iranian people who have actually been very, very vocal on the same side as Israelis, something you might not expect, against the Islamic Republic of Iran. How is the U.S. Congress working to support the people of Iran in contrast to the government, which you're looking at holding accountable for their crimes?
Well, again, I'm proud to support a resolution supporting the people of Iran. They want freedom. They want to be free from the tyranny and oppression that has been in effect for 45 years under the Ayatollah and the mullahs. So it is certainly a question of whether or not the Iranian people can rise up and really be able to overthrow this regime, and ultimately if they have the opportunity of self-governance, which I think so many of the Iranian people want. And they want freedom, and they want to end the oppression and tyranny that we have seen for decades. So, ultimately, if Iran does not have a nuclear weapon, if they do not have the capabilities of enriching uranium, I do think the Iranian people will have the opportunity.
Well, let's hope you're correct, and soon we'll see a Cyrus Accords in addition to the Abraham Accords. Representative Mike Lawler, thank you so much.